Well, let's get a world view now. Let's take you to Washington, D.C. Kyle Isakower is joining us, Vice President of Regularity and Energy Policy at the American Council for Capital Formation. Kyle, good to see you. Now, you're able to tap into a broad range of opinion in your organization. What's the consensus view? Is this a short-term spike, or are these high prices here to stay?
Well, as worldwide, we expect that production is going to be increasing, especially when you see prices increase, you usually see supply increase as well to meet it. The issue right now that you have in the EU and in the UK, of course, is that Russia controls much of the gas that comes into the EU, excuse me. And as a result, until Russia increases their supply into the EU, you're going to continue to see high prices. The good news, of course, is that Russia indicated yesterday that they would increase supply into the EU. The question, of course, is how quickly that is going to come and, of course, why they did it.
It impacts on consumers like you and me, of course. Our homes are more expensive to heat. But look, it has a real effect on business. Some businesses can become non-viable quite quickly. If you're in the business of making steel, some chemical processes, they could just shut down, right?
Sure, there's always the chance that that an industry that is energy intensive and therefore is very reliant on affordable energy could go belly up in a situation like this. It makes it very important for countries to have a diverse supply of natural gas and other energy sources.
And that's where we are playing catch up with the other possibilities. We've got, particularly here in Europe, wind power is being explored, sea power and tidal power is being explored. We're behind the curve, though. We need these extra new renewable sources now, don't we?
Well, certainly renewables are necessary, and it's also not a bad idea to have diversity of supply for natural gas. Right now, the real issue is that natural gas is coming primarily from Russia for the EU, and without another supplier that can bring natural gas onto the continent, there's always going to be that risk of a price spike when supplies are diminished. Right now, again, there's a tremendous reliance on Russia, and I would argue that there should probably be a lot more natural gas import facilities for liquefied natural gas, LNG. With more LNG available to the continent, you'd have other sources of gas other than Russia coming in and helping fill the void.
And I know the USA has embraced fracking, at least in part, as an alternative, a modest but alternative supply of gas. Is that something that Europeans and Asia should look at too?
Well, certainly, the United States doesn't have a monopoly on shale, which is where the fracked gas comes from. What they are simply doing it more often than other parts of the world. So certainly, developing shale gas is an option for much of the world. There are plenty of shale plays around the globe. But right now, if you don't want to make that investment into a technology that is seen as a, quote, transition technology, then LNG import facilities are the way to go and allow the countries that are producing a lot of gas and then exporting it on ships. And I'm talking about the United States, Qatar, Australia, and a number of other countries. If you have the import facilities to accept that gas, you can, in short order, bring a lot of gas to areas that do not have their own production.
So, as you've mentioned a couple of times, Russia is absolutely key, particularly for us Europeans, into this. Now, President Putin is being characterized as the bad guy, sort of threatening to turn off the supply. Is that fair, do you think, or is he just after a decent price?
Well, it's hard to understand what Russia's intentions are. What we do know is that the fact that they have not supplied a great deal of gas, they've basically met their long-term contracts, but they have not necessarily put additional gas on the spot market haven't made it available until, again, Putin made the announcement yesterday. So I don't know why whether Russia is doing this because they're trying to prop up price. I don't know whether they're doing this in an effort to put pressure on Germany to give final approval to the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. But whatever their reasons, they have not been meeting the needs of the EU for natural gas in recent weeks.
Good to talk to you, Kyle. Thank you. Kyle Isakower speaking to us from Washington, D.C.